To be strong, you must be like water. No obstacle, it flows. A dam, it stops. A dam breaks, it flows again. In a quadrangular vessel, it is quadrangular. In a round vessel, it is round. Because it is so yielding, it is most needed and strongest of all. No one will climb up if the best is left at the bottom. No one will steal if the most precious things are available to all. He who knows and pretends to be ignorant is on high. He who without knowledge pretends to know is sick. He who knows how to control others is strong, but he who knows how to control himself is even stronger. He who saves much will suffer great losses. He who knows measure will not fail. He who knows the limit, he will not be endangered. He can become long-lived. Be mindful of your thoughts. They are the beginning of actions. You are ruled by the one who makes you angry. Although there is no object in the world that is weaker and gentler than water, it can destroy the hardest object. A wise man avoids all extremes. He who only tries to begin will never begin. He who is in too much of a hurry will achieve nothing. He who is seen by all cannot see clearly himself. He who thinks he is right cannot become better. He who forces himself will not succeed. He who pities himself cannot improve. If you measure your success by the measure of other people's praise and censure, your anxiety will be endless. The worthy husband does much, but does not boast of what he has done. He accomplishes merit, but does not acknowledge it, because he is unwilling to discover his wisdom. It is better to be soft on the outside and hard on the inside than hard on the outside and soft on the inside. In the presence of the way there is no stagnation. For the unknowable are all names that are one. Seeing the marvelous in the marvelous is the key to all the mysteries of the world. When I am freed from what I am, I become what I can be. The best leaders are those whose existence the people do not notice. True words are not pleasant, pleasant words are not true. A man from birth dies. Consciousness is a diamond. Its purity determines the value of human life. And what is your cup of consciousness filled with? When there are no enemies, there is no war. When everyone learns that beautiful is beautiful, then ugly arises. When everyone learns that good is good, then evil arises. And so being and nothingness produce each other. The heavy and the light balance each other, and past and present follow each other.
True words are not graceful. Beautiful words are not trustworthy. Good is not eloquent. Eloquent cannot be kind. He who knows does not prove. He who proves does not know.
When laws and orders multiply, the number of thieves and robbers increases. Man enters life soft and weak and dies hard and strong. Stiffness and strength are the companions of death. Though war may be aimed at tranquility, it is undoubtedly evil. Even the best weapons do not augur well. If someone has wronged you, do not take revenge. Sit by the riverbank and soon you will see the corpse of your enemy floating past you. He who knows much is silent, and he who speaks much knows nothing. Be bent, and you will remain straight. Be unfilled, and you will remain full. Be worn out, and you will remain new. If you accumulate much, much will disappear. If you want to become whole, let yourself be divided into parts. If you want to be complete, let yourself be empty. If you want to have everything, let go of everything. A worthy husband puts on thin clothes, but he has a jewel in him. When people exalt their ruler, discord begins in the state. When people overemphasize things, theft ensues. When people flaunt the desirable, passion arises. He who flaunts himself does not shine. Free yourself from the desire to have. Great rectitude is like crookedness. Great wit is like foolishness. A whole being knows without learning, sees without looking, and achieves without doing. There is no calamity heavier than ignorance of satisfaction. Man is tender and weak at birth, but firm and strong at death. All creatures and plants are tender and weak at their birth, and dry and rotten at their death. Hard and strong is that which perishes, and tender and weak is that which begins to live. Therefore the mighty army is not defeated, and the strong tree perishes. The strong and mighty do not have the advantage that the gentle and weak have. Nature is never in a hurry, but always in time. Where the great sages have power, the subjects do not notice their existence. Everything in the world grows, blossoms, and returns to its root. The best thing is, having succeeded, to remove yourself. Without opening doors, you can open your heart to the world. Without looking out the window, you can see the essence of the true way. The more you know, the less you understand. The wise one comes without going, sees the light without looking, achieves without doing. The wise man puts himself last and finds himself first. He who thinks he has comprehended everything knows nothing. People have no fear of being oppressed, so they drive themselves to total oppression. By depriving themselves of the pleasure of living easily and without cares, they deprive themselves of the opportunity to enjoy life. Only he who has no obstacles does not build them himself. That is why the wise know themselves, but do not expose themselves. He loves himself, but he does not hold himself up high. And so, in giving up one thing, he finds another. A strong wind in the morning does not last until noon. A strong rain does not last all day. Neither heaven nor earth can exist forever, much less a man. Never judge a man until you have walked a long way in his shoes. Overcoming the difficult begins with the easy. Realizing the great begins with the small. For in the world the difficult is formed from the easy, and the great from the small. The reason rivers and seas receive tribute from 100 mountain streams is that they are below the latter. Because of this, they are able to dominate all the mountain streams. In the same way, the wise man who wishes to be above men puts himself below them. Wishing to be ahead of them, he becomes behind them. That is why, though his place is above people, they do not feel its weight. Though his place is ahead of them, they do not consider it an insult. When a country opposes the way, the warehouses are full of weapons. There is no greater illusion than fear. There is no greater delusion than preparing to defend oneself. There is no greater sorrow than the presence of an enemy. He who can see any fear through will always be safe. There are 30 spokes in one wheel, but they use a chariot because of the void between them. Vases are made of clay, but take advantage of the void in the vase. Windows and doors are broken through in the house, but they take advantage of the emptiness in the house. This is the benefit of being and not being.